Welcome to Chapter 5 Projects. Project and project management is, is a course by itself. So, we're going to do just not much justice in this class about projects and project management. However, I would like to show you simple things on projects. I'm not going to be asking any questions for the final exam for use in this chapter, but I just want to give you some idea of project is. So I want you to go through this because this is going to be very helpful to you later on in your life. And if you like this, you need to probably take another class on project management. So in this project and project management chapter, I want to explain what projects are and how projects are organized. I want to evaluate projects, and I'm going to analyze projects using certain network planning models. And there are a lot of commercial software packages. One of the most important ones that companies use, or one of the popular ones that the companies use, is Microsoft Project. Okay, and that a lot of companies use for doing all the software for projects. So, what is a project? A project is a series of related jobs, like doing a deck outside your house, the back of your house. That is a project. Constructing a room in your house, that is a project. Companies do various jobs as projects. And each one of these projects has got a major output. The output of your deck is your finished deck, or the output of the room is the finished room. And it requires a significant amount of period. There is a start time and there is an end time for a project. There is a goal for the project, which is the major output. There is also cost to the project, because if you want to construct a deck outside your house, it's going to cost you some money. Project management, on the other hand, is basically planning, directing, and controlling the resources. So if you want to construct a deck outside, you need to have the contractors, or you're going to do it yourself with a friend. You need to have equipment. Project management is important to organizations simply because companies do a lot of jobs, which can be often called projects, and they have to manage these projects with the right type of resources like equipment, people, facilities, etc., etc. So project management is very important, and every company has a lot of project managers to manage these projects. When the projects are selected, they are selected as various types of projects. So you have breakthrough projects, you have platform projects, we have derivative projects. Breakthrough projects are very common and derivative projects are less common. When companies do projects, they do it for a reason. They do it for changing products or changing processes. They do it as research and development, and also as partnership projects. So there are various types of projects, and each one of them is important to a company. There are also emergency projects. There are contingent projects. There are projects that must be done, There are projects which can be done over a period of time, and so on and so forth as well. Project management is done in a structural way in most companies. Smaller companies do not have that structure, but big companies like Honeywell and things like that, and companies like that have huge structures. So when I was working in Honeywell, we used to have a project management group in Tempe, Arizona, and they oversaw all the projects all over the company throughout the world. And that is called the project management office. And project management office basically dictates most of how to do the projects, what are the different processes within the project management, so on and so forth. However, smaller companies do not have that kind of a structure. The organizational structure that we are talking about can be pure projects, which is like one small team working full time on a project. For instance, if you want to construct a deck outside your house, then you have a small team of people who are completely devoted to making that deck. A functional project basically is within one function. For instance, if it is going to be an accounting project, the people from accounting is going to be doing that function. They might get help from various others, but then the core team is going to be the accounting people. And that is a functional project. A matrix project is going to be where you get an accountant, a finance person, a manufacturing person, a strategy person, a marketing person, a service person, and then put a team together with all these people and then do a project. So you're getting it from various functions. This is the most common type of projects in big companies, usually because these big projects will contain everybody. For instance, if you're building a commercial building for, let's say, you will have electrical contractors, plumbing contractors, building contractors, foundation specialists, so on and so forth. So that is a matrix kind of project. The pure project structure has certain advantages. There's only one boss, and people report to that boss. That means shortened communication lines, which is good. Disadvantages are, if I have many teams working on many projects, some of the projects could be a duplication of efforts. So you're actually using resources in multiple projects, which can be done actually as one project. So that is a big disadvantage. The functional project structure, for instance, there is a company here which there is a president, there is R&D projects, engineering projects, manufacturing projects. This is a functional kind of project which many companies have. Usually consulting companies might have this, but usually consulting companies are also going towards matrix organizations. But some companies might have this. So a team member can work in R&D or engineering or manufacturing. Okay? The technical expertise is maintained in that functional area. So the engineers are going to be pretty much here, the research scientists are going to be here, so on and so forth. The disadvantage is there might be some projects which are or parts of projects that are not related to the functional area. And also, the engineering person is going to be reporting to the engineering VP. If I want for a research and development project an engineer's input, I have to go to the boss of engineering and tell them that I need somebody, which he or she might say, I cannot spare anybody right now, or I cannot spare my best person right now. And that could be a problem for my project in R&D. So there are some implications in functional project structure. In the matrix project structure, I I can take one person from R&D, one person from engineering, one person from manufacturing, and one person from marketing. And I can have a project manager with these people. And this is a great way of doing things. Better communications, responsibility for success is better, duplication of resources is minimized. But there are certain disadvantages. There is a project manager, there is an R&D manager. There is a project manager, there is an engineering manager. So there are multiple bosses. So the workers will not know where to report and how best to report, how effective the reporting facilities is going to be, so on and so forth. This could be a real big problem in matrix project structure. But companies often do very well structured way of communications and structured way of reporting in these matrix organizations. So that is actually minimized. Okay. Organizing project tasks is the next thing that I want to look at. A project starts with a good statement of work. It's called SOW or SOW. And this statement of work basically is a written description. And this could be a brief description. It should be up to the point. It should be very, very good in communications. Clarity and preciseness is very much appreciated in these kind of statement of work. The statement of work also has a proposed schedule. Scheduling, you will see, is one of the most important parts of a project. Scheduling is like if I want a project to be done in 1 month. How to schedule my various aspects of my project in this 1 month. I want to do part A within 2 days and part B in the next 6 days, so on and so forth. That kind of scheduling is important in projects. A task is a subdivision of a project. And a task should be done by a single person or a single group. A work package, on the other hand, is a group of activities. And a work package basically defines how this work should be done, or this job should be done. A project milestone is specific events in a project. So for instance, if I have a project for 6 months, so after 1 month, I'm going to prepare the SOW. This is a milestone. After the second month, I'm going to be preparing my project management documents. And that is a milestone. So milestones are specific events in the life of a project. The project also has something called work breakdown structure. So work breakdown structure basically is how I make a big project into small chunks of work packages, which is manageable. So I might have, let's say, one program might have multiple projects. Each project will have different tasks. Each task will have different subtasks. Each subtask will have a work package. This work package is the one which is going to tell me exactly what I'm supposed to do in that piece of work. For instance, I'm going to put an outlet in a room that I'm constructing. That is a work package. I'm going to be putting a faucet in my bathroom that I'm constructing. That is a work package. I'm going to lay the plumbing for that faucet. That is another work package. I'm going to connect the plumbing to the main plumbing. That is another work package. So these are small, detailed work. So those are the work packages. Work breakdown structure is done in various levels. For instance, I have levels, which is the top level is a program.